Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Inferno Man here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Okay, so Marvel is coming in just a couple of days, everyone. But before we do, we want to give a fond farewell as the sun sets on Secrets of Strixhaven. So, as always, when we get to the end of usually any of our sets, we always try to now do a send-off where we try to do a 5-color mishmash. So what mishmash are we going to be doing to send off Strixhaven? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, without further ado, let's just jump into right now and show you exactly what we're going to be doing. So, join me today in the Brawl format as we kind of just kick back and relax and see if we can try to do some crazy spellsling in 5 colors, utilizing Codie Phosphorus Codex. This is Reading Rainbow. Alright, I kind of wish I actually had the clip set, but I actually wasn't expecting to stream this early in the morning, so it's all good. We'll make it work. In any case, excuse me, the deck is again going to be focused on utilizing our main creature here, as I said, Codie. But before we get into it, let's go over the stats of the deck. We'll cover, of course, every single card. We'll then play as many matches as we can in the best of 1 Brawl format. And halfway through the stream, we'll upgrade the deck to show you, if you like it, what you can do to take it to the next level. So, starting with the stats of the deck, because long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it, we have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. Reading Rainbow here, a 5-color deck, is going to be averaging a mana curve about 3.1, which is a little high, but well, again, we'll find a way to get around it, as I'll explain in just a bit. Total, we only have 10 creatures in the deck, so it is very low. We are full Spellslinger here. We have 31 instants, 25 sorceries, 5 artifacts, 1 planeswalker, and 30 lands. So, how does this all work, you may be wondering? Well, let's talk about Codie for a second here. Codie Phosphorus Codex, a legendary artifact creature book construct. That's actually a cool typing, by the way. It, however, says you can't cast permanent spells. So the moment he hits the field, you make sure that you try to get everything out beforehand, which I'll explain in a bit, what you want on the field before you hit Codie out. And then from there, his ability, which means tap and him and then pay 4 mana to then get Wooburg, white, blue, black, green, and red. And then when you cast a spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until the end of your turn, you may cast that card for free and then put each of the other cards exiled this way into the bottom of your library in a random order. So in other words here, in order to get value from Codie here, we want to be spell slinging as much as we can and hide... excuse me. Ideally, you want to try to usually cast off some big spells and hopefully cheat them in for a much cheaper cost. But it is not exactly easy to do on a budget, but we're still going to try to make it work. So to go for this, let's kind of talk about the deck as a whole. So starting here in the 1-drop slots, we're going to be utilizing some spot removal here. We have, since we are utilizing all 5 colors, we have access to pretty much everything we could ever want. So we have Path to Exile here. We have Swords to Plowshare. Both of these exile a creature. However, the catch is for Swords to Plowshare, they gain life equal to its power, which is not a huge deal for a commander deck. However, for Path to Exile, they unfortunately will get a basic land. So use this sparingly. It does kind of go up in value against multicolored decks. But we still want to throw it in the deck in case we need it in a pinch. We also have for Mass Protection, some Restoration Magic here, giving a permanent hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, and we can scale it up as we need to as the game progresses. Annul here for counter spells, we counter artifacts or enchantments. Dispel here counters instant spells, both of them are 1-drops. And then Wash Away here can counter a spell. However, you have to pay the cleave cost if the spell wasn't cast from its owner's hand. So ideally, use this, of course, for commanders that are trying to cast themselves in. Bone Shards here is one of our few spot removals in black here. We can either discard a card or sacrifice a creature to destroy a creature or planeswalker. To help us scale up, we also utilize Fire Magic here. So same thing, just like Restoration Magic. It scales up depending on how much mana you want to spend, either dealing 1, 2, or 3 damage to each creature on the field. Codie thankfully has 4 toughness, so even if you scale up to the max value, Codie will still survive the hit, which is pretty sweet. We have, of course, a couple of extra spells that also can be used as tap lands. So, for example, we'll use Spikefield Hazard here, Spikefield Cave. 1 point of damage to any target. If it ends up dying, it gets exiled. To make sure we can take advantage of Codie's ability, we'll also use cards that help us ramp with spell slinging, such as Strike It Rich, leaving behind treasure tokens. Go Forth here at instant speed allows us to give one of our creatures 2/2 until end of turn, or dig out a basic land and put it into your hand and then shuffle. One of our few permanents in the deck is going to be Wayfarer's Bauble here, so this ideally should be out before Codie hits the field, so that shouldn't really affect us with Codie's ability. But what you want this to do is for 1 mana, put this out, and for an additional 2 mana, sacrifice it to get out any basic and put it onto the battlefield to help us ramp. Song of Totens here looks a little goofy, but hear me out for a second. It's X and 1 red for a sorcery spell that allows you to make a bunch of XX black rack creature tokens based on how much you spend on mana. However, the tokens can't block, and then creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. I do want to mention, however, there is going to be some kind of weird ruling here when it comes to Codie. So remember, the way Codie's ability works, with an X spell, it's going to be dependent on the actual permanent cost of the spell, not the X cost. So even if you spend 5 mana on Song of Totens, yes, you get all the rats, but when Codie starts doing his exile abilities, you have to get something that's actually a 0 spell, which we actually don't have any in this deck. So be aware that if you actually want to cast a spell with X in its cost, you actually want to have something that has the permanent cost on it in order to get the best value from Codie. Just FYI. Having said that, however, you actually don't even have to pay the X cost if you don't want to, because we mostly want this to give all creatures haste until end of turn. But considering that our deck is mostly focused on spellslinging, you may be wondering, well, what kind of creatures are we going to have if we have Song of Totens? Don't worry, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Going to the 2-drop slot, we have Razorgrass Ambush here, dealing either 3 damage to attacking or blocking creatures, or use that as a land. We have Revitalize here to give us some life and help us draw some more cards. Mana Leak here allows us to counterspell a target spell unless if its controller pays 3. We have Negate here to counter non-creature spells. Bitter Triumph and Heartless Act are more spot removal. Heartless Act has to can destroy a creature with no counters or remove 3 counters from a creature. Bitter Triumph, you either pay 3 life or you discard a card to destroy a creature planeswalker. So here's one of our few actual permanents in the deck that's actually a creature. So before Codie hits the field, ideally you should have at least one of your token producers. We have Young Pyromancer for one of them. Anytime you cast an instant sorcery, make elemental tokens. So this is where Song of Totens comes into play. But aside from that, we have a couple others that we'll talk about in just a moment. In order to redirect certain spells that we also have trouble with, we also have Return the Favor here. Use a spree mechanic to either counter a target instant, sorcery spell, activated ability, or triggered ability, choose new targets, or you can then redirect the target spell or ability to a single target. So if you have to deal with maybe spot removal against Codie, use this to redirect it to something else. We have some ramp in the deck, such as Newfound Adventure / Farseek. We have Into the North for more ramping. Paradise Druid also for pseudo ramping because it is a creature, but it also can tap for any mana, so that's why we want it in the deck. Tangled Fluorohedron also can either be a land in a pinch, or it can just be a actual mana dork. Dovid's Veto here is one of our few also counter spells that is uncounterable, so we can counter a non-creature spell. Fracture here can destroy artifacts, enchantments, or planeswalkers. Another one of our few creatures in the deck is going to be Sanar, Unfinished Genius, so we want him specifically for a reason. So this Goblin Sorcerer is a 0/4. He enters prepared. You can tap him to make a treasure token. However, you can only use that if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell in a turn. So he can help us with some ramping, but his secondary side wild idea is a sorcery for 5 mana that allows you to dig out any instant or sorcery and put it into your hand. So ideally, you're probably going to try to get him at least to do this once, where you can pick out whatever sorcery or instant you need out of your deck, hopefully get what you need to get your game plan to go off. Teach by Example here allows us to copy some instants for sorceries and then choose new targets, so we can use this to double up on our value. Another one of our 2-drops that can create for us tokens will be Third Pass Iconoclast here. Any non-creature spell you cast will allow us to create some soldier tokens. We have Growth Spiral here for more card draw and ramping, because it can put any land from your hand onto the battlefield. Arcane Signet here, one of our few mana rocks in the deck, but it helps us tap for any mana of any color. Ornithopter of Paradise, also another mana dork for more ramping. Swiftfoot Boots is mostly here to protect Codie, but you can put it on whatever you need to, giving it hexproof and haste. Doppelgang here is also one of our X spells, but this is probably one of our best X spells, because for this one, as we can scale it up, we can, for each of the X target permanents, we can create X amount of tokens. So I know that sounds a little confusing, but so hear me out for a second here. So in other words, if you pay the triple cost at minimum 5 mana, you get 1 copy of 1 permanent. However, if you pay then 2 times over, so in other words, that will put you at what? Let me try to do the math here for a second. That should be 8 mana. So if you do 8 mana, you get 2 copies of 2 different permanents, and it scales up from there. Ideally, if you can get beyond 3 or more, then things go out of control. Use this ideally if you can get out at least one of your token producers, because that means things can go really crazy. Or you can also use this to copy other things. So keep in mind the way this works, you can also copy even your opponent's stuff. So this can be very powerful for you to get some certain things that might have, that can give you a major edge in a match. Now, going into the 3-drop slot, we have again some protection here, make it stand, giving your creatures +1/+0 indestructible until end of turn. To make sure we have extra copies of our token producer, we'll throw in cards like Mirror Image here. So this is a 3-drop, so if you have Codie out again before Mirror Image comes out, you will not be able to cast it. So ideally, this is again what I emphasize, try to get these out before you put Codie on the field just to get more value out of them. But even if you don't, you can always pitch them away if you don't need them. Salinity Visions allows you to dig 6 cards deep to get out an instant or sorcery, or use it as a tap land. Sink into Stupor allows you to bounce back a spell or an all-land permanent to its owner's hand, and of course you can use it as a land if you need to. One of my favorite counter spells here, you find the Villain's Lair, counter a spell for 3 mana, or draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards if you don't need them. Sedgemoor Witch is another one of our ways we can create a ton of tokens. It has Magecraft and it has Ward, so anytime we cast or copy spells, we can start getting these pest tokens out, and of course if they die, we can gain 1 life off of them. Mostly it's just for stabilization, so that's actually good for us. Flick a coin to deal 1 point of damage, create a treasure token, and draw a card. Sundering Eruption here allows you to then blow up a land, or you can use it to then be a tap land if you needed to. Ball Again Recovery here allows you to dig back any any card from your graveyard back to your hand, or again, use it as a tap land. Harrow here is probably our best of our land acceleration. So you have to sacrifice a land, but then dig out 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield, and they enter untapped. So just FYI, that's the reason why we want this one specifically. Saheeli Sublime Artificer is another one of our cards that helps us produce a bunch of tokens. You can tick down with it if you need to with Saheeli to turn an artifact you control into another copy of an artifact or creature until end of turn. I don't use that too often, but sometimes it can be helpful in certain matchups. Sultar Charm is one of our few triple colored spells here because it is, for a 5-color deck, a little tricky to use these spells, but if you can use it, this allows you to destroy a monocolored creature, you can destroy an artifact or enchantment, or simply just draw 2 cards and discard a card. So that's the reason why we want it. Worn Power Stone, if you have this out before Codie, can help you accelerate your mana much more quicker. And then going into the 4-drop slot, we have Destined Confrontation. I've actually grown to really like what this card can do. I didn't realize this is actually a sweet, I guess you could say, budget pseudo-wrath, because the way it works is each player chooses any number of creatures they control with a total power of 4 or less. Then they have to sacrifice all the other creatures. So maybe, I don't know, get Codie, and maybe you have like a Sedgemoor Witch. That is total 4, and then everything else has to die. So that actually can be pretty good against certain opponents that maybe are trying to go way big. We have more token accelerators such as Murmuring Mystic here. So again, creates for us bird illusion tokens every time we cast instants or sorceries. For more copying of creatures, we have Mythos of Aluna, or you can then pay the extra if you want to, then create a token of any permanent. If they are capable of it, you can then use them as a fight spell too. Realm Sketching here allows you to copy any artifact, creature, or land, so that's actually solid for us. And then we have Tolerant Sky Summoner here, another way you can then start getting more tokens out. So this is kind of like our plan B to the deck. If you can't get Codie out, just Spellsling away and just start parting out a ton of tokens with any one of your token creators. Fellow Profane Hero, another one of our main favorites here. You can either use this as a land, but again, use it as an creature or planeswalker removal. Of course, for a Spellslinger like this, we have to throw in Mizzix's Mastery. So for those that don't know, for 4 mana, sorcery speed, exile a card from that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard, and then you can copy the spell, and then you can then basically play that without paying the additional cost. So this is ideally something you want to use against something that goes really big. However, if you can overload it for 8 mana, which is, I know, asking a lot, but if you can do it, you basically can copy every spell in your graveyard. In other words, that means this should be a game-ending spell if you can get this to go off. Heroic Reinforcements, normally you only want to use this once you have a go-wide strategy going, but Heroic Reinforcements creates for you 2 soldier tokens, gives all of your creatures +1/+1, and haste until end of turn. In the 5-drop slot, we have Mankind Stampede here. This helps us kind of give us an overrun effect, again, once you go wide with your tokens, or again, use it as a tap land. Lorien Reveal here has draw 3 cards for 5 mana, which is not exactly exciting, but for island cycling, that's what we want it for. Discard the card for island cycling to dig out of your library an island card, and it also doesn't have to be a basic, so you can pull out whatever you need to and put it into your hand. Arcane Omens here, 5 mana, and it has Converge. So this is something we haven't talked about with our deck, but this is something we can take advantage of. Converge basically allows you to then get more value depending on how many colored of mana spells you have in the deck. Ooh, we have again one of our fire friends here. Hold on one second. There we go.
See, where was I at? Oh yeah, so Arcane Summons here. I'm sorry, Arcane Omens. So for 4 mana, Converge means target player has to discard X cards, where X is the number of colors meant to cast the spell. In other words, if we, for example, use Codie's ability here, get the 5 mana, use Arcane Omens, your opponent has to discard 5 cards. So that can actually be very devastating against certain opponents. Archaic's Agony is another Converge card. This one deals X amount of damage to a target creature, where X is the number of colors of mana meant to cast a spell. From there, you can exile cards from the top of your library equal to the excess damage dealt to that creature, and then you can play those cards until end of your next turn. So that sounds a little wordy, but in other words, what it means is, say like you have like a 1 toughness creature, use this with Archaic Agony with Codie, deal 5 damage to that, then you can pull out 4 cards, put them off to the side, and they're exiled until the end of your next turn, which you can cast them. So look, depending on the matchup, this could be great, or this could do nothing. So just be aware of that. Embrace the Paradox, another one of our 5 mana spells here. At instant speed, draw 3 cards, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. And then finally going into the 6 and 7 plus drop slot, we have Push/Pull. So technically this is actually like 8 mana. You can either choose to use this to destroy a target tap creature, but for 6 mana, use the pull side ideally. Pull up to 2 target creature cards from any graveyard and put them onto your side of the battlefield until end of turn. They gain haste, and then you have to sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. So this is mostly like a game ender where you can hopefully pull out from your opponent's graveyard something really big, use it against them, and then they get sacrificed. We have another spell like this, which is Flotsam and Jetsam. Use this to either mill 3 cards or investigate, but ideally use the 6 drop slide. For sorcery speed, mill 3 cards, then you may cast spells from each opponent's graveyard for free, and then you exile the spell. So in other words, you have 2 ways to cheat some big stuff out there depending on what your opponent has. Fast/Furious here. You can use this on the instant side to either discard a card, draw 2 cards, or deal 3 damage to each creature without flying. Again, some of our best cards here have 4 toughness or higher, so Furious side shouldn't affect your stuff except for maybe your tokens. Zoff consumption here can either you can either hit your opponent for 4 life, and we can gain 4 life, or you can use it as a tap land. Morbid Nymph, this list is bonkers. Hello, my fire friend. Good morning. How are you doing today? And hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Yeah, and keep in mind, this is budget I was able to make this deck, so it could be completely bonkers, or it might do nothing. This is one of those 5-color decks that's literally going to be all or nothing, but we'll see if we can make it work today. And then wrapping up the list, we have Together as one, another one of our Converge spells here. Target player draws X amount of cards, Together as one deals X amount of damage to any target, and you gain X amount of life, where X is the number of colors meant to cast the spell. So again, with Codie here, ideally to max value this, if we can converge it, meaning you get to draw 5 cards, 5 damage to any target, and gain 5 life. This can be a good way to refuel your hand at any point in the game. We have Mascot Exhibition here at 7 mana. Again, another one of our colored spells that takes full advantage of Codie here. You can use this to create a 2-white Inkling token. You can then create a 3/2/3 Spirit token, or sorry, 3/2 Spirit token, and then 3/3 Elemental token, and finally, what was it? Wait, no, actually it's a 4/4 Elemental. That's actually even better. So you get a bunch of tokens out for 7 mana. We have Treasure Cruise here for 8 mana, which is a lot, but remember it has Delve, so this ideally can be better once the game gets deeper in. You use the Delve ability to make this a cheaper cost. Ideally, for 1 mana, draw 3 cards. I did skip over 1 card, but this is going to be more of our backup option. So if everything goes horribly wrong, this is going to be kind of like your plan B to win the game. So if you can't beat down with a bunch of tokens, use Approach of the Second Sun. I know some of you don't like this card and what it does because it feels a very cheaty way to win, but for a 5-color deck, I mean, we kind of need the help we can get on a budget. So Approach of the Second Sun here, sorcery. If you don't know what it does, 7 mana. If the spell was cast from your hand and you've cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun, you basically win on the spot. Otherwise, if this is the first time you're going to cast it, you gain the 7 life and then put it back into your library. So basically you have to cast this twice over in order to win the game. So this is kind of like your backup option to guarantee your win in a 5-colors deck. Okay, so before we get started, wrapping up, of course, the budget part of it, which is going to be all the lands. So 2 of every one of our basics, so 2 plains, 4 islands, 2 swamps, 4 mountains, 3 forests. We'll be using for our dual lands this time all of the snow taps. The reason why is because this gets fetched out by Farseek. This gets fetched out by Into the North, so that's why we want them. So in other words, that's going to be Glacial Floodplain, Snowfield Sinkhole, Ice Tunnel, Volatile Fjord, Sulphurous Mire, Woodland Chasm, Highland Forest, Alpine Meadow, Arctic Treeline, and Rimewood Falls. And then finally, since we are 5-color, we don't have that much room for utility lands, so we squeezed in what we could, which is going to be Arid Archway to bounce back any of our lands. Since we are using a lot of dual modal lands as either tap lands or as spells. Our Archway can help us reuse them. Command Tower is absolutely essential for a multicolored deck like ours. We have Demolition Field for non-basic land hate. Fountain Port here for the tokens we do produce, so we can use them for value. And finally, the Great Hall of the Biblioplex, which allows us to then pay 1 life to use this for 1 mana of any color. And that is going to be the whole deck, everyone. Reading Rainbow in a nutshell. Whew, okay. I'm exhausted already explaining the deck. But there you go, everyone. Can this pile of 5-color nonsense actually get something going? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's try. Again, I don't know if we're going to get any wins with this one because it is very janky, but if we can at least get like 1 or 2 wins on the budget, I'd be happy. All right, so, Terra Lossa. All right, so it looks like our opponent's going to be doing some life gain shenanigans and trying to pump up some big creatures. We'll see if we can get around it, though. All right, so nothing super crazy here, but we do have the Archaic Agony, so that might help us refuel. Let's see, for now, let's play the Selindi Isle. We want to make sure we can get to the magic number of 3 for Codie. We may not need Mirror Image for this one. Oh, that's perfect. That's a perfect target for the Agony. Okay, so for now, we'll slowly just build up our value. If they're playing Selesnya, I hope they don't have that much removal. We'll see. Okay. Impassioned Orator. Okay, so there we go. They're going to be just doing life gain stuff. That's fine. Okay, Go Forth actually is not too shabby either. So, let's see. Do we do this now? I think we might want to do this now. So this means that Mirror Image no longer is going to be playable until Codie's leaving the battlefield, but that's okay. That's not something we worry about. I just want to see if we can try to get the value with Archaic Agony now. I hope we can. Okay, so I know I asked this yesterday on stream, but I like to ask again. How is everyone's day, morning, afternoon, or even evening, depending, I guess, wherever you're at in the world? Hopefully all have been doing well. I know we were online yesterday, so hopefully not much has changed, but weekend is here, everyone. Y'all got plans for the weekend? Are you all doing pre-release for Marvel? Are you skipping pre-release? Are you prepping any decks? What are you up to, everyone? Let me know in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you. Okay, so Terra Lossa doing its thing, so a little scary, but that's okay. We can still make it work, everybody. So here's how we're going to do this. We need to make sure Terra Lossa doesn't get too much value. Okay, colony, that's life gain. Okay, so we got to save the Bitter Triumph now to make sure Terra Lossa is off the field. Can't swing yet, but that's fine. Ooh, we got Bone Shards too. That's good. Okay, so we need to go full control because I need to make sure I have that Go Forth. Actually, we'll do it now. Pay the green. Wait, no, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's get the black. Okay, so we got what we need. No attacks yet. We need that black swamp in order to make sure that we can use Bone Shards next turn. Archaic Agony to blow away a creature. Okay. Should be okay, right? We can sponge at least 1 hit, right? Right? I mean, how big can Terra Lossa get on this turn? Don't quote me on that. I feel like I might just jinx myself there. Johnny's Pride Maid. Ooh, boy. Ugh. Once again, Pride Maiden. Bread and butter of a Terra Lossa deck. Okay. Is that all the life gain they have? Hopefully they don't have any more. Okay. Opponents? What else you got? They're thinking. Please don't tell me they have a fight spell. 2 mana open. What could they possibly have? No, they did have a fight spell. Dang it. No. Okay. So now we're kind of in a bad spot. Now they have big creatures and we're going to have trouble dealing with stuff here. They're an Archway. Not quite what I want now. Alright. Codie can come in, but we can't afford another hit. So. You got a little too greedy there. Okay. Lathril. Okay. So what we're going to have to do here is... Okay. It's got Trample from Gnarly... Okay, from Gnarly Con. Okay. Okay, so plan right now is we need to use Bitter Triumph at instant speed, take out Terralossa, and that should hopefully stop our opponent from doing things. Or at least stem, I should say, the bleeding. Okay, Bitter Triumph. Discard a card. Terralossa. We'll throw away... I guess we'll throw away the Arid Archway. Actually, no. Actually, no. Mirror Image. That gets tossed. Okay. Okay. Slowing our opponent down, much as we can. As much as we can. Because now it's a game of removal. Okay. Lathriel giving things up there. Counters. Okay. Ooh, got the Sword Splasher. That's not too bad. Okay, so... Arid Archway. Bounce back the Swamp. We will need to... So what do we taught away here? Okay, it's probably going to be the Realm Sketching. Okay, so that's gone. Okay. Do we survive the turn, or are we dead? So this is where, again, where the deck kind of struggles a little bit. Against big creature decks, until we get our spot removal, or if they keep going too big, we're going to have a hard time. Alright, Passion Orator. That goes bye-bye. So, no life gain off of Terralossa for now. We go down to 2. Might be too little too late. Okay. Guess we'll have to take our first L here, but that's okay. This deck is definitely not an easy one to work with. Okay, so opponents. So they get a ton of counters. So they still get value no matter what. Song of Totens would be nice, but... yeah, it's too late. Alright, we'll take our L. Dang. That fight spell alone was pretty much what sealed the deal against us. But that's okay, everyone. It's just the first game. No big deal, right? We've only just gotten started, so let's give this another shot. Alright, shaking that off. We'll try again. Okay, so with that, question for everyone now is, is anyone... Was anybody hoping, or actually, I know this sounds silly, but was anybody actually hoping that we were going to get another round of Omen Paths? For those of you that maybe not are fans of the Marvel set, were you all hoping that we get more Omen Path cards? Or like the overlay, I should say. Not gonna lie, I did like what the Omen Paths kind of did. It was a little silly at first, but hey, there was actually some fun flavor that they mixed in with that. I kind of liked it. Okay, we can't cast anything with sand. Again. Okay, I guess we'll make this one work. This should be fine. So we'll hit that. Let's get Sulfurous Mire. Start. Okay, so we can get to that 4th land. Codie should be solid once we get there. Unfortunately, we're failing. It's going to be Codis. So we don't have anything really in the deck that stops Codis per se, except for a couple of exiling spells. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them, but we'll try. Let's try and get rich. And pass from there. Okay, so... with the mountain, Codie comes out. We can protect it from the treasure. If we need to. Highland Forest. Okay, so let's see. Mountain. Codie. Alright, great. Comes in. And we'll pass there. Okay, so here's hoping that Codie does survive this hit. Come on. They have to have something. Alright, opponents. What you got? Sultai colors usually mean they have some kind of removal. Ooh, does it survive the turn? Yeah? Nice, we get to untap. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so we got our forest there. So with that, so we do have a way of pulling off some stuff here. What do we want though? Okay, I guess we'll just ping. So we won't get true value off of it, but that's okay. Idea here is just again to start doing our shenanigans. That does mean we still have 2 extra mana floating on top of us. Okay, what do we exile? Come on, something good. Fire magic. Okay, that doesn't really help us. Okay, well that stinks. But at least we get some stuff out of it. I guess we will strike it rich again. Okay. Opponents. Okay. And then we'll pass there. Okay. Not quite again the card we needed at that moment, but that's okay. Okay, is Codis coming in? Codis is coming in. Okay, that's fine. Alright, Lorien reveal. So, we'll do another round. Spin it to win it. This time we'll draw 3 cards with that. Alright. Big spell. Come on. Something good. Make a stand. Ugh, okay. Not quite what we wanted, but okay. Oh, we got the Source of Plowshare. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Approach the Second Sun. Okay. We got that at least. That's not too bad. So with that, Source of Plowshare. There we go. Okay, so Codis off the field. Phew. Okay. And then we'll pass here. Okay, so Approach the Second Sun is now literally our only way we're going to try to win this one. We just need to make sure Codie survives. Popular Paradise. Okay, that's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7 mana. So Codie does produce that. Pure Dank. Hello, my fire friend. Good morning, and how are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Good luck? Well, thanks for that. Let's see. We did come here to try to see if we can get at least 1 win with Codie here. All right, so Approach the Second Sun. Doppelgang. Well, this is kind of awkward. Doppelgang can't really do anything unless we pay the extra cost. Dang. We don't have any mana open, so can't do it. But that's okay. The only tricky part now is making sure we get to Approach the Second Sun before Codis can steal it. So this is where things get a little risky. Okay. Island. Okay, so with that... Oh, wait, hold on. Can we do this? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So I have an idea here. No attacks this time. This time, we have to block the hit from Codis. Use Restoration Magic as a protection spell in case we can. Salinity Visions digs out the Approach the Second Sun, and we can get the win. Okay, I think we got it. We just have to hope our opponent now taps out. Because if they have a counterspell, then this completely fizzles. Pure Dank. This looks like a fun wheel deck. Definitely love getting random cards out of my deck. I'll be honest, this is a multicolored Spellslinger deck is fun, but 5-color for me was definitely a challenge to build. But I don't mind every so often like pushing myself out of my own comfort zone. Okay, return target permanent. Okay, let's see. What do they do? Okay. They can start swinging? They do. Okay, so how do we do this here? So it's still indestructible. Codie blocks. Restoration Magic. We don't need to do anything crazy, so we're just going to Hexproof Indestructible. Dang it. Okay, so from there, Salinity Visions as a precaution. Use this to get out, Approach the Second Sun. Okay. And then from here... Oh, and our opponent already knew what it was going to do. Wow, they actually gave up already? All right, all right. Nice. So even though at that point Codie was going to get blown up, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 mana open, so Approach the Second Sun was a guaranteed win no matter what. Whew. All right, there we go. That's the deck, everyone. I didn't think we were actually going to be able to pull off an Approach the Second Sun win there, but yay. Okay, that worked out. Again, not the most flashiest way to win, but I will take it. A win is a win. And that's exactly what you wanted the deck to do anyway, so I'm glad it worked out. Okay, cool. So we actually did manage to prove that you can win with this janky pile. If those of you are wondering what the deck list is, I will, of course, put up the deck list at the end of the stream. I think right now, off the top of my head, I think it's like an arena, maybe like, what, 12, 13 rares? Which is not too bad for a Brawl deck. And I think in paper, it's like, I know it's not going to be cheap, but I mean, I think 89, 90 bucks. I mean, for a 5-color pile like this with Codie, I mean, any cheaper than that, it probably would be borderline unplayable. So it's all good. Pure Dank is now subscribed. Thank you again for that, my fire friend. Appreciate that, by the way. Good games, easy W. Yeah, it was. Okay, so we managed to make that look pretty good. So let's see if we can keep the good times rolling. All right, so we got the Wayfarer's Wobble to help us ramp. Doppelgang could be good for later on. Realm Sketching can also copy something they have. We got Ruby. Okay. We actually did play with Ruby, what is it, like a week and a half ago? We used her for a dinosaur deck, which sounds really odd, but it actually did work, surprisingly. All right, let's start with our mountain. Play the Wayfarer's Bauble. Name of the game. Get that ramp going so we can get perfect fixing. The good news, at least with Codie, is since he's not specifically 5-color per se, he can generate 5 colors. You actually don't need specifically perfect mana in order to make him work. So that's actually what makes him a fun option for us. Okay, let's see. Ruby coming out this turn, if I'm assuming. Yes, maybe. Okay, Ruby is coming out. Okay, do they swing, or are they going to use that to ramp? Nope. They're just swinging. We go to 24. Sacrifice the bauble now. Get our perfect mana fixing. So from there, we will get out... What do we want? I guess we'll get out... Do we want this now? I guess out of precaution, let's get the planes out now. Okay, let's see. Okay, we can get Codie out now, or we can wait it out for a smidge. Let's get the Rimewood Falls. And, alright. Well, we did come here to do some shenanigans, so let's put it out. You know what? We're taking a gamble. If they have removal, so be it. If they don't have removal, then we're in business. Oh, we got the Heartless Act. I feel like I probably should have gotten black mana out. It's okay. That shouldn't cost me anything, right? Right? Okay, so let's see. Ruby. We actually can use Realm Sketch if we need to get rid of it. Oh, okay. Alright. Back to the command zone, Codie. Alright, so we're going to have to wait it out a little bit longer here. It's all good, though. It's all good. Okay, tap land for our opponents. So they are a little slow, but that is in our favor. All a good recovery. Okay, so from there, play the Alpine Meadow. This time around, we'll use Realm Sketching. We'll make our own Ruby. This helps us accelerate our mana. Take that, opponent. Down to 24. So, with our own copy of Ruby out, this with Codie should mean that we should be able to pull off some stuff. Okay, 6 mana open. Ugh, I'm kicking myself for now for not getting the right color mana out. I should have gotten black. That was on me. Stoneforge Armor. Okay, so Alchemy card. Blech. Again, not a fan of Alchemy cards, but hey, some people like to use them. Alright, so what does this do again? When they attack, they get out... Oh, wow, they get out Ball Lightnings? That's totally fair. Okay, Worn Power Stone. Get the Fjord. We will... I want Codie so we can do stuff. So we'll try again. Still attack, down to 20. So we're at 16. So they basically start making Ball Lightnings like crazy with this. We'll see if that's something I should worry about in a moment. Okay. Opponents? What you got? Loot. Alright. Wizards tried so hard to make Loot into their own version of Pikachu, and honestly, it's not working as well as they think it is. They should actually use from Owen Path's Fleam. I love Fleam, by the way. Fleam is actually fun. Okay, so we managed to thankfully untap. So let's see. What can we get? I guess we'll use this as land. Okay. Spin it to win it. So, 5. What can we grab? Well, first off, we need probably here. Okay. It can only be a 1-drop. Oh, it's a null. Okay. I was hoping for a spot removal card for loot, but okay. Alright, that's fine. Not a big deal. Let's see. I guess we have enough mana open where we can use Doppelgang if we want to. And then 1. Hold on. Can't do anything beyond creature cards. Pay the 1. We'll get... Even though it's against my moral judgment, I'm actually going to copy this. We get our own version of Stoneforge Armor. 13. Take that, opponents. Now who's the ball lightning dirty alchemy player? All right, down to 14. We got him. Fleam is currently my go-to for Brawl commander. Nice. Oh, I hope they use Fleam in the future. I know he's going to be kind of forgotten thanks to now the fact that we actually got real Spider-Man cards, but I like the creature himself. I'm really hoping that Fleam will make an appearance as now like a new creature to join up with like Flibblefit and all the other small little creatures they've been making over the years. Once again, it was one of the... Oh, jeez. Tally. Ugh. Sound the alarm. Not good. All right. Minsc and Boo. Salinity Visions. Oh, jeez. All right. Opponents getting free stuff. Ugh. Always a Tally. Always a Tally I got to worry about. Okay. So that means that hits us, what, for 8? Let's see. Boo. All right, they put it there. Oh, that means we're dead, aren't we? Yeah, we're dead. All right. Dang. Opponent getting the Tally off. Totally fair with the ball lightning shenanigans. Okay. Again, another reason why I'm not a fan of alchemy. It's all good, everyone. It's all good. It's okay. We'll shake it off and we'll try again. So let's see. Maybe like 1 or 2 more games, and I think we'll then try the upgraded version of the deck, which hopefully means that we'll have a much more better shot at getting some more wins. But even if we don't, I still at least was able to prove that even with this pile, that a pile that not the best at making, we still managed to make it work. Pure dank. Nah, I like Fleam art better than the Green Goblin. Really now? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I agree with you on that one. I like Fleam. He's so cute. Again, Wizards, I know you're probably, no one from WotC is ever going to watch this stream, but if you do hear me, please don't let go of Fleam. You have something there that you can totally make work into future creature cards, future stuff that represents him. You got to show some love for that little guy. Okay, so here we go. We've got... Okay, a little slow here. If we can get one more... Well, actually, we need specifically green. Actually, it's a little too risky. You know what? Mulligan. Okay, well, we got the Harrow still. We actually have a force, so if we get out at least one more land, then we can ramp. So we'll keep this hand. A little risky, but that's okay. Oof, GG's. Good luck with that stream. Nap time for me and then work. Okay, well, have a good nap. Literally, I'm also squeezing this in between getting ready for work myself. So, hey, enjoy your nap. Have a good day at work, my fire friend. Anything you missed, don't worry. The replay will be up for you later today. Take care, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, back to the game here, everyone. So, let's see. Superior Spider-Man, because I forgot now that everything's flipped over officially for Marvel. Okay, put down our force. Come on, deck. Give me one more land. Any land color will do. That means we can get Warm Power Stone out, and we should be able to ramp quick here. Ancient one, okay? Can't do anything yet. Ugh. Come on, deck. We need at least one more land. Land off the top here. That's what we need. Land off the top. Come on. Come on. Dang it. Not what we need. Okay, well, this is now where things get awkward. Okay, so... What do we want to throw away? Oh, dear. I guess the Growth Spiral? I don't know. That's Mirror Orb. Oh, okay. So I was going to try to start... Oh, jeez, okay. We'll give it one more turn. If we don't get anything, this is basically a non-game. Which is going to be a little boring. One more turn. And otherwise, then we're just going to drop this game. Because not getting the lands we need is... it's not fun to watch. Okay. Anything else about it? They're doing some milling themselves. So interesting strategy here with the Mesmeric Orb. And the Ancient one means that you can actually start milling yourself faster to then get this online quick. Okay, Sandar, alright. Alright, it's not a game. Well, that kind of stinks. Didn't get a chance to do anything there. Alright, fine. Forget that one, everyone. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, we're trying again. Okay. Let us try again. So this time around, we will see if we can make this work. Let's see, Codie. Can Codie pull off some stuff here? We'll try once again. Alright, so for this hand, we technically have what we need for counterspelling, but not for ramping. On the other hand, Codie does only need to have 3 mana as the magic number. Well, actually, the magic number is actually 4. We'll see. We shall see what we can do here. Okay, so with that, play that tapped. Get the tap lands out first and foremost. Okay, planes again. All right, so I guess we'll just, at least we have counterspell magic ready. If nothing else. Okay, opponent, what you got? What you got, opponent? Rest of the reinforcements, okay. Can't counter that, but that's okay. Starting to go wide. Okay, Stink at the Stupor. So here's how we'll do it. So we play the Glacial Floodplain. Stink at the Stupor comes out, and then Codie can come out next turn. All right, Campbell. Doing Campbell shenanigans. Down to 23. Ice Tunnel. Okay, so for that, actually we'll play Codie. Put down the Ice Tunnel. Okay, so we have what we need now to actually use Codie's ability, but none of the spells we have in hand are not the best ones to cheat out. We need something big. One of our big card draw spells. And then at that point, Mystic's Mastery can actually do stuff, but we don't have what we need just yet. Now they have Bone Shards. Alright, fine, opponents. Back to the command zone, Codie. So we're going to have to wait it out a little bit longer. I mean, we technically still don't have what we need anyway, so I guess this is fine. Okay, Lord Skitter does stuff. Go to 18. Harrow. Not quite what we need now. Take the hit to 3. Trying to get Codie out there. Come on, Codie. Stick around. We are vulnerable. We have counter spells, but we don't have a way to use them until we actually are untapped. Come on, deck. Hang in there. Show some love. No more removal, opponents? Opponent, what you got? Opponent? You there? Sorry, they probably have removal. They're probably just thinking of which removal they want to use against us. Fell. Alright. Okay, well, this is not really turning out very well at all. Okay. Lunar Conviction. Or is it Conviction or... Oh, Convocation. Oh, we have the Approach Second Sun, which is hilarious, but we don't have the mana yet to use this, so... Alright. Opponent is destroying all the cards. Okay. Anything else, opponents? At this point, again, this is going to be another one of our non-games. I might actually just jump now to the non-budget one. Because at this point, if we're not going to get a chance to do anything, then it's not going to be as fun. Okay, swinging. Which is Campbell, down to 9. Okay, we don't get anything this turn. Okay, we got Black Source, but yeah, we got nothing. All right, not fast enough for Approach the Second Sun to do its thing, so we're going to have to take the L there. Wow. Oh, I mean, Codie is not an easy commander to work with, especially on a budget, because we don't have very many good options against opponents, but that's okay. You know what? We're going to just cut it there for the budget one. You kind of get an idea of, again, what the deck is trying to do, but what if we take the time to upgrade the deck and take it to the next level? So this pile here can get absolutely ridiculous if it manages to go off. So this version here is what we're going to be using for the remainder of the stream, everyone. A much more souped up version that is taking advantage of some of the more powerful things once we can get them to go off. So for this version of Codie here, it is literally going to be just all over the place. So you can see, again, the stats are still going to be a 3.0. Mana does skew a little bit more towards blue. So with that, not much else we can really say, except once we start getting stuff out, we should be able to accelerate pretty quick here. So I won't go over every single card because that's going to take a while. But the idea now is we're trying to fix some of the issues we have with Codie, such as, again, mana fixing. We want to make sure we have stronger ramp. And again, much more powerful spells that Codie can take advantage of once we actually get him going. So take advantage of that. If we can have in the opening hand Leyline of the Guild pack, all of our lands basically are every land type. So that means that can help us ramp a lot faster. We have additional better options like this Chromatic Lantern. We're trying to, again, fix the issue that we have, which is making sure we have the right mana at the right time. other upgrades for the deck that are going to help us out, because we're doing a bunch of multicolored stuff, we're going to throw in Spelunking. Technically, you can put this into the budget deck as is, but it is actually kind of going up in price, so I kind of saved it for the non-budget deck. As far as other upgrades for the deck to make sure we can get a little bit more out, we have Mystical Tutor. This is going to be one of your aces in the hole. This allows you to dig out any instant or sorcery card and put it into your hand. So you can use this if you want to sneak out again, approach the second sun. If you're trying to, again, do some better counter spells and copying, 2-in-1 here, 3 steps ahead. Actually, it can be a 3-in-1 card if you have enough mana. Other upgrades that are going to help us out here, we have better ramp with Birds of Paradise here, tapping for any mana we need. For more faster ramping and getting out the right lands we need, we have Crop Rotation here. Sacrifice 1 land to pull out any land from your hand, or sorry, your library onto the battlefield, so it's actually really good. Delighted Halfling will be there mostly for Codie to protect us for any of the counter spells that are out there, because it makes him uncounterable since he's a legendary. For more spot remove, we have cards like Prismatic Ending here. With Converge that we're using with Codie, this should be able to then allow us to exile any non-land permanent we can get out of the field. As far as other upgrades to the deck here, I'm trying to see what else we were going to throw in that can help us out here. We'll upgrade now to Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves, actually, you can make in the non-budget one. I'm sorry, the budget deck itself. But he's also a little bit expensive in paper. I think it's like a $5, $6 equipment card now. Yeesh. But if you can afford it, throw it into the deck. Because, again, its equipability is free, and it gives your creature haste and shroud. Otherwise, more protection spells help us out, like Teferi's Protection here. Again, some of y'all don't want to see it, but it is essential for the deck because make sure we can protect ourselves for a whole single turn cycle, which is pretty good. Other upgrades will be Painful Truths here. Draw X amount of cards and lose X amount of life, where X is the number of colors you spent to converge this. So ideally, 3 for 3 is pretty good. So that's actually great for our deck. Other upgrades for the deck, in the upgrade slot here, we have Moogle's Valor. So this is allowing us to create a bunch of Moogle tokens depending on how many creatures we have, giving them all indestructible until end of turn to protect us. We have Bring to Light now to help us dig out some more stuff. We're going to use Converge, so this actually gets really good value at any point in the game. For Codie specifically, some of the more bigger spells we can use will be Decorum Dissertation. We have all the Paradigm spells, by the way. We have Germination Practicum here. We'll throw in Echo Casting Symposium. We do have Improvisation Capstone. This is ideally the best one you can get for the deck itself. And we'll throw in, of course, Restoration Seminar as well. We don't have that many non-land permanents, but the ones we could throw away, we can bring them back for free. So this is how we can get around Codie's ability. And of course, we'll throw in River's Rebuke, and that will help us again bounce away our opponent's stuff if we need to in a pinch, just to make sure we can clear the field. Otherwise, most of the other stuff is just what you would think of for essentials, like Force of Will, Force of Negation. Stuff like that will help us again just make sure ideally we can get stuff off and keep things clear while we get up our game plan. Now, in terms of other upgrades, the rest of it is, of course, going to be in the mana base itself. So 2 of every land basic. So plains, islands, swamps, mountains, forests, that won't change. However, we now have a much more robust way of getting the lands we need. So with the fetch lands, we're going to throw in at least 5 fetch lands for the deck itself. We throw in, of course, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath. We have Polluted Delta. We have Flooded Saran, Bloodstained Mire. So these are all going to help us, of course, just make sure we can get any one of our triomes. We have 5 triomes in the deck, so you should be able to fix yourself no problem. Raphine's Tower, Xander's Lounge, Zeotor's Proving Ground, Jetmir's Garden, and Raguin Triome. Now, as far as the only other upgrades for the deck, we'll throw in some other fixers to help us out, like Mana Confluence here. We have Spire of Industry. Usually you can only use this if you have an artifact, but Codie is an artifact, so that actually works out perfectly for us. For fetching out our basics, we'll use Prismatic Vista here. We have Starting Town also for more fixing. But the other ones we'll keep, of course, will be Demolition Field stays, Command Tower definitely stays, Fabled Passage is another one more way we can get out more basics. And then finally, of course, keep the Great Hall of Bibeloplex with Fountain Port. Okay, but otherwise, that is now the upgraded version of the deck, everyone. So let's take this version into the Brawl format. Let's see if the upgraded version has what it takes to get some wins. Whew, okay. As we're approaching now the halfway point of the stream, everyone, as a friendly reminder, if you do like any of the content that we do and you want to show me some extra love, please like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already done so across any and all of my socials, whether you're watching me live on X, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitch. We do try to do at least 2 streams a week to show off whatever my brain kind of comes up with all the stuff that happens in the world of Magic. It feels like there's a never-ending stream now of cards, so it just feels like I could literally do pretty much one of every highlighted card for the entirety of the year. I mean, there's so many legendaries now, it's just ridiculous. But in all honesty, if you want to check me out, show that love, everyone. If nothing else, we also have if you want to support me financially, we have a Patreon, and we have a members-only spot with a playlist of a bunch of extra videos that don't get pushed to the main channel. Showing your support there really helps me out, and the money from that would go towards supporting our Discord that we have, which also you could join for free. But if nothing else, it helps keep the channel going. Your support, no matter what you do, will help keep the channel going, so all links, of course, will be located in the details below. Whew, okay. I got all the shilling out of the way, everyone. Forgive me on that one. Seriously. But also, I got to do it because I want to still promote myself. Okay. Any case here, going back to the game. Oh, we have Ramos Dragon Engine. Okay, okay. Opponent is going to try to do some shenanigans with that. Game on, opponents. I'm ready for you. So for that, ooh, Arcane Omens. This will be devastating if we can get it to go off. We just need to get to Codie by turn 4. So let's see, Jetmir's Garden. Down. Okay. So we also have a Painful Truths too, which is good. We have all of our Converge spells, which is actually pretty sweet. We just need to hopefully speed up before our opponents can get Ramos out. Midnight Clock, okay. Alright, they're doing their thing. Forest. Codie coming out. We came here for shenanigans, so we're going to try to pull it off. We need at least one more mana. We can do that with Bala Get Recovery, but also we're going to be a little slow. Oh, they got to. Oh, it's an alchemy card? Come on! Alchemy cards. Ugh. Okay. Opponent's still trying to think they can outdo us here, but that's fine. Ooh, we have Sedgemoor Witch. That's not bad. So with that, all good. Sanar coming in. He does come in prepared too. So we can find another way to circumvent our against our opponent here. Ramos coming in. All right. Yeah, big boy. Okay. Innerstrom. Predator. Okay. Okay. We gotta make sure we can keep him off the field as much as we can. Saheeli. Not quite what we want right now. We need that 5th land. Still not getting it.
This should be fun.
Still can't use also his treasure ability, which is also awkward. Okay. So what we need right now is a way to just cast any spell. Anything. The deck is right now making it look like it's super hard to do, though. Okay. More alchemy cards. I really wish they had a list that had no alchemy cards in the format. That, I think, would help me out so much with making decks. Because having to always factor in these random cards is just not fun. Okay. Opponents. They exile. Okay. Getting counters on stuff. Saheeli takes a hit, but she's not dead yet. So I'm hoping we get some value off her. Come on, deck. Young Pyro. Oh, wow. We're getting, like, literally all of our token enablers, but we cannot get a single extra land to save our life. You know what? I don't want to do this way, but we have to. All right. Oh, I forgot we can't. No, that's awkward. All right, you know what? I'm canceling this one. The way our deck was designed right here, the hand completely we had betrayed us completely, because I realized with Teferi's Protection, I can't tap to make the treasure with Sanar, because now he's phased out. But at the same time, we kept drawing into all of our token enablers, but we don't have enough mana to actually even do anything. Wow. Talk about a string of bad stuff there. All right, well, sometimes, again, you win some, and sometimes you'll lose some. Really hard. But it's all good. It's all good. That was just the first game with the upgraded deck, so hopefully we can at least get at least one win off here. I hope. Okay, it's okay, everyone. We're just going to shake that off like it's no big deal. Okay, so another question I want to ask everyone. Random question. Would you have been fine with them making the Open Paths 2026 version, I should say, if they actually brought that in, if they could do Marvel? Would that have made a difference for anybody regarding the Marvel set coming out? Let me know, everyone, what your thoughts are overall. Okay, so with this hand, okay, so we actually do have enough here to actually get what we want. This is actually solid. Polluted Delta, 2 mountains, and the Windswept Heat. So we have all the fetches we need. That's perfect. Pass here. So for this, ideally, we want to get Sedgemoor Witch out first before Codie. So we'll try to do it that way. hopefully this should work. And we also have Restoration Magic for protection, so that should be also solid. Okay, they got the Bushwhack. So our opponent here's playing Rocco. We actually played with Rocco for one of our Thanksgiving streams. Or was it? I think it was just a regular deck tech. Still pretty good, though. I like making my food-themed decks for holiday seasons. Okay, Windswept Teeth. We will sacrifice this, and we want to get out... we already have the red, so we probably want something that's... Let's get the Raffine's Tower. Okay, so we now got our Codie Black. Oh, perfect. Okay, now we actually have our command tower. So for that, let's get out the Polluted Delta first. So now we should have perfect fixing once we have everything set in stone. Okay. Come on, opponent. Bring it on. Is Rocco coming out this turn? He is. All right. That's fine, opponents. So sack the Polluted Delta immediately. Let's go ahead. Let's dig out. What do we want? We don't really need anything with red, but this does mean we get red anyway. So let's get out... I guess we'll get out the clicking around there. Okay. Okay. Well, it gives us some stuff. We don't need that right now. But maybe later on. Command Tower. Sedgemoor Witch. Okay, so if she sticks, or if nothing else, she could lure in a spot removal piece. Maybe that might be helpful. See, Rocco, from what I remember with Rocco, he's going to start putting food counters and tokens out like crazy. All right, PNLR. Okay, so that means they start making tokens. That's cute, by the way. They're going with Thopters. But okay, we'll see if we can try to make this work with Codie. I know we can, though. We lose the dissertation, which is sad, but it is what it is. Play the mountain. Oh, here we go. Spell the Profane. PNLR goes bye-bye. Yes, they do get counters on stuff, but that's a small price to pay. But Pia is gone. No attacks yet. And at least the pests do gain us life back, so we can buy our time if we need to. Okay, so let's see. Smothering Tithe, okay. Opponent is going to start trying to tax us for the food we're going to be getting. Remember, kids, taxation is theft. Okay, opponent swinging. But at least now we can sponge hits as long as we have these pests. Okay, gain some life. Alright, more exiling. Okay, Heartless Act. I guess that's not bad. We do like a card like that. Decline. We need to have the mana open. So from here... Play the island. Codie coming in. And then... Is it better to remove... Okay, we'll wait it out. We'll swing, actually. Down to 22. Okay, so Heartless Act is still on the field. If we need to blow something up, so be it. Okay, Ventorious. Is that something we worry about? Okay. They still have... Let's see. They have one treasure open. Any spot removal to blow away Codie. Okay. Okay, so that means there... Reckless Fireweaver. Alright. They make a token. From here... Reckless Fireweaver goes bye-bye. Yes, he gets a counter off of that, but that's, again, not a big deal. Because we make it to pets, and that's what we want. Pings us. Okay. They managed to actually get counters on it, which is dumb, but... Okay, it's fine. Still blocking here. Okay. Still getting the life packs. We're at 20. Fracture. Okay. That actually might be helpful for us. Chromatic Lantern, too. That's cute. Decline. Get pinged. We go to the mountain. Okay, so we have Codie ready to do his thing here. So let's see. Archaic Agony. We're in it to win it. Come on, deck. Give me some love here. Okay, what do we... Dang it, null. Come on! No, don't exile counter spells. We don't need those counter. Oh, jeez, okay. Okay, so from here, Fracture to destroy that, because that's got to go. Okay. But at least Smothering Tithe is gone. Swing here. Quintorius goes down to 2. Okay. So we kind of have what we need, but at the same time, we don't have exactly what we need. Evolution Witness. Okay. Okay. Counters keep coming. Ugh. So let's see. Return the Favor. Doesn't help us out that much here. We need a big spell now. We have now more than enough mana, which is good, but we're still low on what we need. Opponent is running out of cards at least, so that does help us out a bit. Awkward Percussionist, swinging, swinging, and swinging. Okay, opponents. Okay, we have to let that hit go. Down to 11. We do have Restoration Magic we need to in a pinch. Ornithopter Paradise, okay. Last card. Okay. Opponent's still trying to give us some free value here. Okay, so from there, here at Archway. Let's see. Bounce back the tower. Codie. I guess we might as well just try to get some value off of him. So, make some more tokens. Return the Favor. Copy. Revitalize. Make another token. Make another token. Alright. We need that life gain. Come on, deck. Strike it rich. It's okay, I guess. Not quite what we wanted. Alright, so if nothing else, strike it rich. That doesn't mean Rocco goes off. Just a little bit. Okay. They make more counter shenanigans happen. Okay, so that means they get back Pia Nalar. We make plenty of tokens, though, which I guess is not bad. Okay, Sanders Lounge. We can cycle that if we want to. We don't really need to. Okay. So the good news now is we have plenty of tokens. So we kind of at least show you now the token strategy part of the package. But it's not quite what we need right now. We need a way to blow up their big stuff. Being a Lar, okay? We can block a couple hits if we need to, but if they have a flyer such as that Thopter... Good boy. So they got a free... They got warp space now. Ugh. That's a little scary for us. We might be in trouble. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay. Okay, here it comes back. Smothering Tithe. Opponent's going off. And it's not looking good for us. Make another token.
Never go it alone.
Okay, is that all, opponents? They have plenty of food to work with here. They sacrifice their food. Gain some life. Okay, opponents. Big swing here. Alright, so with that... Okay, so... Sponge what we can. Block and block. Block there. The Evolution Witness has to go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 blocks. Restoration Magic. Cura. Make another token. Gain some life back. We go up to 20. So we're not dead. We're still in this fight. Not by much, but we are trying. If we only had the River's Rebuke, that actually would be our key piece here. Go to 13. Up to 18. Sundering Flame. Okay, Third Path Iconoclast, which is hilarious, but we can't play it just yet. Alright, so... We got Balin coming in. Strike it rich. Okay, make a token. Exile stuff. For no real value. Alright. Sundering Eruption. Cycle this. Bone Shards, okay. Well, it's better than nothing. Okay, so We will discard... What do we want to discard? Rocco goes bye-bye. We will toss out Chromatic Lantern because we don't need that anymore. Okay, Rocco's gone bye-bye. Okay. And then Sundering Eruption, mostly to blow away the Temple of Abandon. At this point, we're just trying to get tokens out. That's all it is at this point. Okay. Phew. Okay, they get a basic out of it. Okay. So, can't block, can't block. Okay, Quintorius is down. Phew. Okay, and we still have blockers on the back end. Okay. Opponent is definitely making us work for it here, but so far we have been trying. At the very least, we have been trying. Smothering Tithe again. I mean, they have all the food in the world right now. Not that we care about that, but... Okay, Balin. Okay, opponents. Trying here. We are trying. Okay, so far, let's see. We are definitely... We just need a way to blow away all those tokens. We blow away all the tokens, then we can win. But, I mean, it's like asking for, like, the most miracle of top decks here. But we do have an option for it. It is in the deck. Okay, Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest. Okay, they exile 5 cards. Okay. Swing? They do. Nope. Not from Pia. Okay. So, just one block there. I guess we'll just do it now. Down to 11. 2 of our creatures die. Percussionist does its thing. We gain some life back. We go up to 13. Whew, man. Hey, Rocco's still doing its thing. Still making his food shenanigans and tokens all work. Okay. Kind of wish we were able to put down the Iconoclast, but Codie kind of ironically blocks us from going wider. We'll see. We shall see here. Stop the pantry. Nope. Dousing Dagger. Okay. I'm still trying to do its thing. I'm surprised they actually didn't play that earlier. That would have given them another creature to haste with. Okay, they flip into the Grotto. But they don't have anything else they can play, so they lose all their stuff. So I guess that's good. Go to 7. Path to Exile. I guess we Path to Exile now. Dragonhawk. Yes, they still get more value off of that, but small price to pay again to get rid of that big creature, so we can still survive a turn. Make another token with the Witch. Okay. Path in our way. Come on, deck. We need one turn here. If we can at least get one more spell, maybe we have a shot here. Some Birds of Paradise that we can't even play. And we can pay the 2, but yeah, we're sunk. All right, we'll concede that one. No. Oh, we were close to stabilizing just a little bit there. We just needed maybe like 1 or 2 more good converge spells. We could have maybe. Now, who we're kidding? We were not going to win. It's okay though, everyone. Still. Deck's still pretty fun, and you can see that it can hold its own if you know how to sequence everything. But right there, yeah. You'll see the biggest weakness to our deck is we have a hard time, at least in this version here, hard time dealing with go-wide strategies. Because we don't have that many Wraths in the deck, but mostly we don't want a Wrath because we want to try to just get everything else for value. Opponent's playing Nico Bolas. Okay, we got the Witch again in hand. Oh, we got the Murmuring Mystic too. Okay. Maybe this might be good. Okay, your garden. Okay, so let's see if we can make this work here. Proving Grounds. Okay, pass. So for this one, I think we're going to wait until we can get both token producers out on the field. So at least once Codie starts doing his thing, we start going wider and wider. Okay, what are Foothills? That's not too shabby too. Play here. The Prismatic Vista. Let's get out one of our basics. Let's see. I think we'll get out the Swamp. This time we'll actually get that out ahead of time. So the Witch can now do its thing. Okay. So let's see. We have fixing for black, red, green, and white. Okay. Opponent making us discard a card. Okay. I think we'll return the favor for now. Morbid Nymph. Hello, my fire friend. Welcome back. This build is interesting so far. I think I shall build a Codie deck now. Go for it, man. Maybe your version is probably going to be better than mine. Let's be real. My version, I like to think it's decent, but honestly, it's probably a little fumbly from how I've done it. Let's see. Let's get out the Triome here. For now, Lightning Greaves. Put it on the Witch, just to give her extra protection. She gets some early damage down to 22. So, now that at least we have the Greaves out, once we have Codie going, our opponent... Okay, oh, they're going to go wide too? Spicy opponents. Oh, they got the Heuristic Study. Alright, it's fine. Opponent's going to try to get nasty with us here, but that's okay. Fountain Port. Do we pay the 1? Yeah, we'll pay the 1 this time. We protect Codie with the Greaves. Okay. So from here... No attacks yet. Alright, so with this... At least now we have Codie out, we have Sedgemoor Witch, so we have ways of now doing our shenanigans. We just need a way to start getting the rest of this plan to go off. Make a tap token, okay? Inspired Easel. Okay, another alchemy card. Opponent. Wait, what does this alchemy card do? Okay, so it's a mana rock. Oh, it's a 2-mana rock. And is it? That's totally fair. They perpetually gain. Okay. Go to 15. Okay, come on, deck.
Ooh, okay.
There we go. That actually can help us out. Okay, so Painful Truths. Alright. We will take some damage here, but that's fine. Yes. And play the blue. Okay. So yes, we have to still pay a stupid cost there. But pay the 1. No cards for you, opponent. But we are drawing cards ourselves. Okay, cool. Ooh, we got a Growth Spiral. That's fine. Draw some cards. Go down to 12. Okay, so from here, Growth Spiral. Okay. Yeah, we'll decline this time. We have to have some mana open here. Make our token. Put a land on the field, yes. And then from here... Fire Magic. This blows away the board. Go to 11. Let's see, we need a blue source. We need an untapped one just in case. Magecraft. So we lose our tokens here, unfortunately. Small price to pay, though, because it blows away pretty much their whole board, which is fine. And we gain some life back. Okay, down to 14. Okay. Again, small price to pay, but we wanted to make sure everything was off the field there. Signet, okay.
So we're hoping at this point Codie has
Some chance of getting us what we need. We have all of our enablers here with our creatures, but we can't cast them with Codie out. So this is, again, where the deck gets a little awkward. Farseek, okay. Sacrifice a permanent, okay. Alright, well, we'll try. Come on, Codie. Pay the 1. Yes, pay the 1. Come on, spot removal. Okay, we'll take that one. Not the worst. And then put onto the field Graphene's Tower, which we will source the Plowshare here. Yes, we have to sacrifice permanent. Pay the 1 still. We will lose the island. Okay, that is gone. Okay. Still trying our best to hang in there. Pass. Still have to dispel if they have anything to counter, for instance. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Leaving Gear Drake. Okay, so they're literally a Grixis artifact deck, which is actually something I was not planning for. I was hoping they were actually do more spell slinging.
secret is safe from me.
Okay. Okay, Mishra. Preventing us from hitting them directly unless we sacrifice stuff. card.
Thanks.
We're at 6.
I'll be taking that now.
Phases out. Okay. Ooh, Archaic's Agony. Okay. This actually might help us out too. So, Codie doing his thing. Archaic Agony. We have to... Ugh, I have to sacrifice so much to do this. Okay. Pay the 1. If the sacrifice permanence, we will get rid of a swamp. Oh, jeez. But if this works, hitting him for that much here can be helpful. So exile 5 cards. Bitter Triumph. Archaic Agony. We then exile 5 more. Okay. Get an island back. Bitter Triumph. We will discard a card to do this. Man, they're... the price we have to pay just to keep up. Okay. Pay again. We have to sacrifice again. Sacrifice an island again. With Mishra going gone, should help us out a ton here. Sacrifice a token, draw a card. Okay. Guess we're trying to find something, but okay. Whew, man. Talk about everything we had to do just to get through that. Okay. Nico Bolas once again. Makes us discard a card. We will discard Bitter Path Iconoclast. Donatello. For the Ninja Turtles. Man, you have 1 card left, opponent. What else could you possibly have? If we can make at least the Zoff consumption go off, at least we can survive a little bit longer. Okay, they draw a card. They didn't attack, so they get to discard. Okay, anything else, opponents? Nope. Yes. Force negation. That can be helpful in the future. So, alright. Come on. Spin it to win it, Codie. Alright. Once again, we have to pay. Ooh, Germination Practicum's not horrible. Not quite what we want, but... pay the last of it. Okay, we're up to 10. Well, Force negation is all we have left to protect ourselves. Okay. Alright, well, we don't have a choice now. Pitch the Dispel. Can't pay the cost, so we have to give him a card. Dang, what a very annoying deck to have to fight through all of that stuff. But some way, somehow, we did what we could. We're going to take a hit here. We go to 3. So we have to hope once again that we actually get something that...
I am limitless.
They can draw 2 cards off of that. Bring a creature card back. Okay, they draw 2 cards. No surprise there.
Must be done.
Man. The things you gotta do just to stay alive against some opponents. Pretty crazy. Okay. Can we do it? Is there any way out of this? If we can at least top deck something amazing, that'd be great. But that Ristic Study also allows our opponent to keep pace with us. Okay, Donatello. Turns the Inspiring Easel into something to make a ninja.
I got someone on the inside who can help.
Okay. Swinging at us? Maybe? No, they don't. Okay. Interesting. Paradigm. Okay, we have to play the Ristic Study cost. Pay the 1. Okay, so Codie hilariously becomes now a big book. Okay, Bone Shards. We will discard... what do we get rid of? Nico Bolas. We'll toss away our Ornithopter Paradise. Pay the 1 again. So Codie can't really do anything now. So I guess we're going to have to start relying on tokens here. Okay. No attacks yet. Pass. Baxter Stockman, also from Ninja Turtles. I don't remember what he does. Okay, so he creates a robot. Okay. Beep boop. Tyrannic Lantern. Okay. Perfect fixing for all their lands. That's fine. Does he swing first? If he swings, we can just block it with Codie, so I guess that helps us out a little bit. Okay, they put counters on top of that. Okay, it's a 6/6. We can still block it, which is good. Oh. Ugh. Okay, so it gives it first strike. Okay. swinging. Okay. We'll pay 1 life. Small price to pay to block 9 damage. Whew. Way too close. All right. Okay. Opponent draws another card. Dang. I think I probably can see already like where our major issues with our deck is. Okay. First off, we'll make another token. Go to 7. Draw a card. Tinkle Fluorohedron. Not quite what we wanted. And 2 counters on stuff. Okay. Tap land. Alright. Well, looks like Codie. I wonder something. There's something I haven't had a chance to test, and I guess I'd have to ask everyone out there. So if I have a Paradigm, if I tap with Codie to make the mana, even though I'm not paying the cost with Germination Practicum, it just allows me to... It just says when I cast the next spell with lesser mana value. Does that mean that the Practicum works that way? I don't remember. Okay, well, either way. I don't know if we're going to survive anymore here. We're going to try. Maybe we got like 1 turn left in us? At best. After that, we'll try... Maybe we'll keep going a little bit longer, everyone. Dang. Codie's not quite firing off as well as I thought. But to be fair... This is not really my usual style, so I feel like I was a little blind trying to make this work. Alright, so there goes our last card. We're both top decking now. Okay, Donatello pumping up the easel. Give it even more pump. As long as it doesn't trample, we can still sponge the hits. Alright. Block there, and block there. Alright. Okay. Alright. Go to full control for a second, because I want to try something here.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Wait, no, hold on. Undo real quick. Pay the 4. Click counters. Okay, so it does actually... Oh, wow, I'm so stupid. I didn't realize that the Paradigm actually does work with the copy once it's exiled with Codie. Wow, I feel dumb right now. Okay, so that does work, technically. Salinity Visions. Okay. Pay the 1 there. Wow, Doppelgang would have been so good a long time ago, but wow, we're way too late. Dang. That sucks, because this actually would have been really good early on, but too little too late. Also because I was too dumb to realize that I probably could have done the Paradigm shenanigans at least a turn or 2 earlier. Oh well. Lesson learned, everyone. This is what happens when I don't test decks after I just build them. It's all good, though. Nevin Hannes. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Love your content, Inferno Man. I always try to catch your YouTube videos. Have a great stream. Thank you for that. That's so kind of you. I appreciate that, by the way. So even after sometimes I take some L's here and there, everyone, those pick-me-ups like you guys put out there, appreciate your positivity, everybody. So I always try to remind myself, no matter how many times I lose, and trust me, we've had some streams where I do nothing but lose the entire stream. The point is, as long as I'm having fun, it's still all good. And trust me, we've had sometimes games where, you know, sometimes I get kind of bored, where I end up, like, winning almost every game. But we've had it back and forth this year. Quite a bit, actually. Still, I don't want to give off this deck just yet. I know we can at least get maybe 1 win with it, hopefully before the stream is over. So let's keep it going, everyone. Don't want to give up just yet. We're going to try. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Okay, so with this hand, 3. Got the Omens. Got Codie. We get 4. Then Omens here will be great to have. Let's get the tower out first. So we got our tap land in. Graphene's Tower. We have Revitalize also to help us stabilize a little bit. We're playing against Professor Delian Fell. Okay. The Soul Stone. Oh, actually, now it's actually the Soul Stone. Polluted Delta. Pass. So, Soul Stone coming out now. 1 of 6. We already know the next one's coming out, the Mind Stone. Not to be confused with Mind Stone, by the way. But from there, we'll see how many more of these can we get. Right. Okay, so change of plans here, everyone.
And you might survive.
We need to now get out an untapped land for this. So for that, hold on. It's Raffine's Tower. Okay, so we do have black already. So we probably should get. What do we want? We have an island. We have a mountain already. So I guess we got another swamp. Not ideal, but we need that right now for the Bitter Triumph. Pay the 30 life now. Delian is down. So at least that buys us time. Sundering Eruption. Okay. Pass here. Pass. Thinking right now. Okay, so game plan right now. I want Codie out, but I need to make sure that whatever they have in their hand, okay, they got more ramp, that's fine, can be dealt with. Signets, okay? Okay, opponent is just trying to get their ramp on. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Nothing. Let's revitalize to give us a little bit of life back. Okay, got Xander's Lounge. That's cute. I want to try them too. So from here, I think we'll do this now. Let's see. They could destroy a creature, so probably might want to hold off a bit there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. Did they bring down Delian now? Okay, they do. Alright, that's fine. Okay, they gain the life again.
I have life essence to spare.
I realize their Yabivaya actually helps us out quite a bit here. So, thank you, opponent. Thank you for turning on our, our forests. We appreciate that, by the way. Okay, so that's 7. So we got to make sure they don't ultimate. That's probably the toughest part about facing off against Professor Delian. Okay, so for that, Bone Shards. We will throw away Sundering Eruption. Okay, Bone Shards takes out the Professor. Maybe. Opponents. Okay, good. Whew, okay.
I'll be in my office.
So I think now's our time to put out Codie. Maybe. Okay, Codie. Okay. This is definitely a risky moment here. That means they're 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8. Now they got the shield. Boo. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, Adventure's in. They gain life again. Professor Delian, once again, is in.
Sit down.
Okay, so that means they will... Dang it, they get the ultimate next turn, don't they? Alright. Well, we're out of options here, so I think at this point... Make them discard their last 2 cards. Okay, so they had a command there. Okay. Strike it, Rich. Okay, so Codie comes out next turn, and we have to find a way to get around this. Ultimates? He has to ultimate, yeah. It's like those old school planeswalkers. Oh, opposition agent? Alright. Talrand's not horrible. Not ideal, but we can make him work. Strike it rich. Okay. Make a treasure. So, they can't tick down at least. So, they can draw a card and lose a life if they want to. Oh, they gain life. Okay. So, they're going to start life gaining and draining us.
Turns poison to medicine.
We actually can use an ability with Return the Favor if we need to at a pinch. Let's see what our opponent does, though. So I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, though. Exile a creature. They can harness the stone. Do they do that? We don't really have any creatures that we need to worry about ourselves. Okay, ooh, Heartless Act. Okay. So for here, Codie coming in. We have enough to return the favor if we need to at any given point. Okay, Professor takes the hit. Okay.
Back.
Trying to gain control of this is not easy because of Professor's emblem. But we're not going to give up just yet. We're going to try. Okay, opponents. They gain the life still.
This will only sting for a moment.
Okay. If they have an instant sorcery spell or an ability, we can retarget it if we need to. Anything else, opponents? Okay. Fire magic, okay. Nothing that's really going to help us right now. Okay, so just keep hitting the Professor. I don't know if they have anything else in hand. That's the problem. We're going to have to wait it out just a smidge. Okay. Come on, opponents. You have 2 cards in hand. Surely you must have something to do your thing. Okay, wait. Oh, removal? If it's removal, then that's exactly what we want. Okay. Come on, opponents. Come on. This is a gamble no matter what. We can use Codie's thing. I forgot we can use it at instant speed. But if they have removal, ideally we want to try to... Okay, that's missed. Okay, so they do have it. There we go. This is what we wanted. So, return the favor. Let's copy that. Got him. And then Heartless Act. Blow away the opposition agent. Make another token. They can't use the Soulstone because they've already tapped out, so they got that down. Okay, opposition agent gone. Okay, Codie doing its thing. Exile, exile. What do we got? Pass the exile. Okay, well, not ideal, but it's fine. Turn the favor. All right. Okay, target 2 artifacts, so that means this can't go bye-bye, but... At least those go bye-bye on our end. Okay, they tap still. Tapping for mana. Those are gone. We make a ton of tokens. We will Path of Exile Codie ourselves. So if nothing else, this does create for us a new token. Path to Exile seems really clunky to do here. But we're doing it so at least we can ramp. Let's take out our own basic, by the way. Okay, so with that, let's get out of planes. There we go. Put him back to the command zone. And then finally, that should be it for now. Okay. There we go. Opponent did get a ton of pest tokens, but so did we. So it's not like we're down. Now we have options. But man, Codie's going to be so expensive on the next turn. Okay, they draw a card.
Some lessons are painful.
Okay. Shieldred. Ugh. That needs the alarm. Okay. Alright, draw a card. Ooh, Archaic Agony. Okay, that's actually really solid for us. So instead, Shieldred goes bye-bye. Make a token. We use all 5 colors, but we won't get any value because it's full-on 5 colors just to get rid of her. But that's honestly not too bad. Okay. We won't get anything extra from her, but that's not a huge deal. Okay. So, opponents. We will attack here. Actually, hold on. Attack with everything, minus Talrand. Use this to attack the professor. Okay. Obviously, our opponent's going to block everything. So, 4 pests versus 4 pests. Opponents. Oh, they let it go. Okay.
Death
Okay.
didn't stop me before.
Okay, and pass the turn here. Okay, so far trying to maintain control of this. We're at 16. I don't know what our opponent has. But we're trying. We are trying. Ancient Cornucopia, okay. 10 mana, of course, to get him off again, so hopefully we just keep him off the field completely now for the rest of the game. Okay, Misty Rainforest. Exactly what they want to. We got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Okay. We're going to do this now. I know they can do the Harness the Mind Stone shenanigans, but we need the tokens. Ooh, wow, they let it go. Okay. So, life gain for everybody. Everyone gets 4 life back. We will lose life, though, but that's okay. Kind of right back where we started. Okay. Okay. Ooh, wash away. That'll be great for later. We will take that. Okay. Codie in. Now we're in control of this match. Take that, opponent. Down to 21. Closing the gap. Can we get a win here? One win here would be great to finish off today's stream. Just one. Professor Delian coming in. Well, too bad. We got the right card for this situation. Time to wash away any hopes of victory, opponent. Yes! Countered. Take that. They do gain life still, but that's not a huge deal. We get drained. Ooh, together as one. Okay, beautiful. Oh, this is what we came here for, everyone. This is what we wanted. Okay, together as one. The perfect converge card right now. We draw X cards. Deal damage to them. Yes! Tokens. Oh, Mystical Tutor. Oh my god. Okay, now we got it. We're in. We're in. This is what we all came here for. Okay, Mystical Tutor. Make another token. You know what? We'll throw on top. Approach the Second Sun as a guaranteed victory. And then Song of Totems. Let's see. All right. Yes! Woo! That was a way to end the stream, everybody. Wow, what a comeback out of nowhere. Give me a round of applause for that one, everybody. Oh, man. Whew. Okay, that made it all worth it, everybody. All the losses we took today, I will take that as our spectacular finish for us. Woo! Feel good, feel good, feel good. Affinity for Anime. Hello, Infirmant. How's it going? Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us. Okay. Let's see. Looking at the clock right now. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm actually gonna have to cut it short, everyone. I realize now I'm cutting close into the time I probably should be getting ready for my big boy job. So, okay. Dang. Okay. I do apologize, everyone. So, I think that's probably going to be as good as it gets for today, so we're going to have to cut it short, everyone. Again, apologies, but we will try to get a longer stream in next time around once we get ready for Marvel. However, let's go ahead, let's wrap up the deck before we end today's stream. So, Reading Rainbow, everybody. How are you all feeling about the deck? Do you like it? Would you play the deck in any way, shape, or form? To be honest, this is honestly not an easy deck to put together. Ellie Gamer, hello Ellie Gamer, how you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us. But unfortunately, we're going to be ending the stream in just a little bit, everyone. But I still appreciate you guys popping in just the same. However, let's go ahead and do a quick wrap up of today's deck. So, as I was mentioning earlier, Reading Rainbow, 5-color instant sorcery pile. I mean, when it works, it's hilarious. But this is not an easy deck to put together. At least not for me. I'm not too good at putting together 5-color piles, especially Spellslinger ones. So, I don't know if I put together some of the wrong cards. Maybe I probably would tweak it a little bit more in the future. It's still a fun deck when it goes off. We saw we were able to get at least one win with the budget one, and it was great when it worked out. I'm not sure if actually my theory of using tokens would work. However, W-play, it was. That was actually probably the best top deck we could have had for that match there. And no, man, felt so good. Man, that was a good one. But yeah, we saw, at least with the last game, the token plan can work, but it's also still clunky because you have to time when to put in Codie. If you're sequencing ideally, and again, perfect world, you probably would at least have Young Pyromancer or Third Path Iconoclast out before Codie comes and hits the field. And then that means you would have enough tokens as your Spellslinger to go wide while you're still just building up value with Codie. Having said that, there's also some, again, trickiness to the deck, because if you cannot keep any of your token producers, then it feels like you're just wasting slots. So be aware of that if you want to play with Codie. He is hilariously fun, but you really, really want to get a lot of value out of those 5 colors. So try to stack your deck where you can get the most value from your 5 drop slot at minimum with Codie, and then wheel into something that will really help you out. You kind of saw some of the times we wheeled, we fizzled horribly. We had some awkward draws where we kind of would fizzle with Codie because we would get maybe like a counter spell we didn't need at that moment, or sometimes we would get like a random Wrath or Song of Totems when we didn't need it. But the times when we actually hit well, man, it was fun. One small note that I will talk about with the non-budget deck that I felt really dumb about is if you time it where you can then tap Codie for his ability, if you have something paradigmed out and exiled, the paradigm will trigger off Codie. So just FYI for the future, and that's something I can't believe I fumbled on completely, but it is doable. So for example, if you were to do Restoration Seminar and it's already hit the paradigm where it's already exiled, when you get to your next main phase, once this is on the stack, you can at least, or actually before it even gets into the stack, immediately tap Codie to get your 5 mana. So then when the Restoration Summoner, the Paradigm ability, comes from exile and it's cast, even though it's a copy, it does trigger with Codie. So that's how you get more value out of that for free. So just FYI for the future, everyone. I do like, again, what the deck is trying to do. But again, I'm probably not the best person to reach out for if you're trying to look for a 5-color pile that's Spellslinger. Not my usual style, but I gave it a shot. And I always like to try to challenge myself to build decks outside of the usual stuff. So at least this way, I feel more well-rounded as a player. And having said that, though, that last game, woo! That was probably the best performance you could have seen from the non-budget one. We were able to then go toe-to-toe with a life gain and drain deck. We were able to then make Codie work. We actually managed to get off at least one of the Together of Ones. That was a beautiful one there. And also, Talrond actually came in clutch with all of those Drake tokens. I didn't think we were actually going to pull it off there, but it actually worked so well. Oh man, that was such a beautiful win. And then also that match earlier, we also managed to get the Return to Favor to work. So that was also a clutch spell. This is actually a spell that I think many players, if you're playing with red, don't sleep on this card. Return the Favor can sometimes be a great way to give you a nice equalizer against opponents that want to, spot removal you or hit you with single target stuff. And you can copy their stuff and throw it right back at them. So definitely I would say buy copies of this if you can for your future commander decks that run red. You will not be disappointed with that card. Seriously, I would definitely recommend it. Now, with all that said, if you're still here and before we end today's stream, for my True Fire friends who are here, let's give you a little idea of, again, what's to come for the future, everybody. So Marvel, again, is literally right around the corner. So for that, I'm going to see if I can start squeezing decks together. The playlist is actually no longer available for regular players out there, but I actually was able to be sneaky. I still have access to the early access standard. So I'm going to keep this and try to make copies of decks where I can start kind of trying to theoretically deck build and brew. So because of that, I was able to actually put together what I think might be decent for a nice little budget deck for standard. Using Quicksilver here, super speed, but I'm going to tweak it just a little bit more. So I haven't finished it yet. Obviously, you can't craft these cards because you can see right here. Can't do it just yet because it's too early. But at least with that, I'm going to use that as my means to copy and play around with some stuff that we can build for 60 card decks. So we'll do some stuff definitely coming up in this future. I have no idea what our first deck is going to be once we get to Marvel. I'm thinking either it's going to be Iron Man, probably maybe even Squirrel Girl. I don't know. But I know for sure that once we get to 4th of July, next week, we will do a special edition deck tech that's a 4th of July deck. So obviously that has to be Captain America. So we're going to be doing that for America once that day comes. But don't worry, we will do what we can to for the next couple of weeks for some more Marvel stuff. And then before you know it, oh man, we're going to already we're already going in July. Man, this year's going by fast. But seriously, once we get to, what is it? Is it August? Is when we get to The Hobbit? That one I think I'm looking more forward to. But even though I'm not fond of Marvel, as I mentioned like a million times already, we'll still make it work and we'll try to have fun with what we have. I'm sure at least we'll get something decent, at least much more better than Spider-Man. But in any case, that's going to be it for today, everyone. So shout out to everyone that was here in the chat, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone that was here with me today. So shout out to you again, Morbid Nymph, Pure Dank, thanks again for popping in. Nevin Hands, thanks again also for popping in just as well. Affinity for Anime, thanks again for popping in here at the last moment there. Ellie Gamer, appreciate you all for being here today. And for those of you that are watching, if I don't get a chance to shout out you, maybe if you're on a different chat, sorry about that. I try to look at all the chats across all the multi-streams that are going out because some of them sadly don't make it to the main one here. But it's still, whether you're watching right now, live on the replay, wherever, appreciate you guys viewing just the same. But that's going to be it for today, everyone. I now have to actually get ready for my big boy job because, again, that's what pays the bills until we can maybe someday achieve the dream of being a full-time streamer. So until then, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everyone. Enjoy whether you're playing pre-release this weekend for Marvel. Have fun. If you get any good hits, let me know what you get. And we'll see you again, hopefully next week for Marvel. But until then, one final thing I do want to leave you with for today. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again next week for Marvel, everyone. Later.